Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land today? I hope this finds you well. Lord have mercy. Here we are, the 9th day of December. December just clicking on by as fast as it can go. Matt's running behind, and he's trying to get all of his ducks in a row over there and get everything lined up and pretty and fancy and, you know, all the stuff that he does. And we got you Raw Wonder in the house. Hello, good to see you. Hope everything's going well in your world. Man, we need everybody sharing this thing out. I don't know what happened. Everybody having Christmas parties tonight and forgot to invite me? Or I'm the life of the party. How could you forget to invite me, for crying out loud?
Everybody should invite BrendaG.
That's right. You never know what I'm going to do or what I'm going to say.
Well, that's the truth.
I don't know, so how could you know? It's just one of them things. I sent out a whole bunch of invites before the show. You'd think some of them be wandering in. There's Jim Dockrell.
Oh, boy. Jim's in the house.
He was gathering up all them midgets up there because they run off this time of year, you know. They run north up there to help Santa Claus, and he has a rough time keeping them gathered up there for his Jello wrestling.
With the big pole in the center of the big room.
Yeah, and then the baptismal pool.
Jeez. Oh.
Well, I'll tell you what. It doesn't know whether it's going to be warm or whether it's going to be cold. It'll be halfway decently warm one day, and then it'll be so doggone cold that it freezes your hoochie coochies off the next day. And today was one of them cold days. Now tomorrow it's supposed to start warming up. I got everything ready for planting my roses. You know how I want to do my propagation on my roses. I got everything ready except for the roses. So that's in the works for tomorrow. Got to get that done tomorrow. Get them cut and get them planted. But I got the pots filled with the warm soil and got the soil warmed up and got the lights set. And
the important question. Is the moon in the right phase?
Yes, it is. It is until Saturday. So I got till Saturday to get this done.
Okay.
And
that's good.
It's just been either too cold or too windy or too this, too that all week. And so I was looking at the weather today. I thought, Lord, you're running out of time. I don't want to have to go out there and freeze to death, but I'll do if that's what it takes. And then it's supposed to get up almost 60 degrees tomorrow, which is like a heat wave compared to what we've been having. We've had wind chills down in single digits here.
Baby.
And so I'm thinking, well, it gets up about 60 degrees. That ought to be a good time to get out there and get it done. It won't take very long to do it, but I don't want to get out there and freeze to death in the process, you know.
Yeah, it'd be a good time to do some property maintenance and stuff around the house.
Well, that ain't going to get done, but...
Yeah. Well, oh, man. How's my volume? I must be...
You're a little low.
I'm a little low?
Yeah.
Holy cow, I can't go any higher than that.
Well,
I'll talk right into the microphone.
There you go.
Oh, Brenda, I am beat. I don't know about you. Tired.
Well, I'm tired, but I'm not really sure from what, because I really haven't been doing a whole lot. I think it's just, you know, nerves let down from everything that's transpired with the tree and the, you know, all the proceedings going on with that. And now we're into the holidays and the cold weather and the hot weather and the cold weather and the hot weather. And it just keeps me wore out. But for anybody who don't know, I turned everything over to the lawyer and said, here's the mess. Here's what's transpired and you figure it out. Right. So
give me my money.
Yeah. Because apparently the city's ready to settle. I don't know if they're going to be ready to settle after he gets done looking at this mess. At what's been created, but we'll see.
My phone just gave me a reminder to watch BrendaG's designs.
There you go.
It should always be. Go do that.
Should be telling you that all the time. JJE's in the house. Hello, JJE. And Jim Dockrell says he's tired there too. My get up and go got up and went. Yeah, I know the feeling there. The older I get, the worse it gets too. I tell you.
I've been I've been doing an activity multiple times and I'm not happy.
Well, maybe you should switch hands.
It's not that activity.
Oh, well, I was just giving free advice.
It's buying garbage on Amazon. I got this. Do you know what this is?
No.
I don't either. It doesn't do what I thought it would do. And I got these too.
That can go back.
I got 3 of these. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Do you know what these do?
Nothing.
I have no freaking idea.
Well, if you go into your Amazon account there and look at the stuff that you ordered, it'll let you click on the link that takes you to whatever it is that you bought. And then you can read up on it and see what you did when you was drunk. But
I know. I'm just being a little bit funny. The items are in perfect functioning order. They just don't function in the way that I thought they function. So I had to buy basically the same amount of stuff again, slightly different stuff to use with this stuff.
Yeah. And
then both those piles of stuff together will do what I thought the first pile of stuff would do. It's crazy.
Margie TV's in the house. Say hey to Margie.
Hi, Margie. How are you?
Hope everybody's having a nice season.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to think of it this year. I mean, to me, it's just a weird year. Maybe it's just because I'm so broke that I can't pay attention because I put all my money into trying to get my house fixed. But, there doesn't seem to be the Christmas cheer or of course, I can't go anyplace. It's just here.
Well, didn't someone tell me that the Black Friday sales were awful?
Oh, yeah. The sales, they say that the figures on the sales all that week were just horrid.
And they were pushing it hard. I've been watching the YouTube channels like Home Depot Black Friday, Lowe's Black Friday, all the tool deals. The way it seemed on the hype, everything was hyped. I guess.
Well, nobody's working. The figures are in for September, October, and November on the unemployment rate, and they've had over 12 million people quit their jobs.
I get it. I mean,
in 3 months.
My wife's in healthcare, and a lot of the healthcare staff was like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm out. And then, so they're like, we'll give you $300 extra to show up for 4 hours. So they're working the staff to the bone and paying them. But
Jim Docker said his wife made cookies and he's gaining weight.
Oh, cookies.
I might be gaining weight too. I don't know. I ain't got guts enough to get on scales right now. After everything that transpired, with the tree and everything, I can't do it all.
I have a progress report in that area if you're interested.
Sure.
Well, remember it was March that I started keto.
Yeah.
With my doctor consulted. I got some. So anyway, I was hanging around 18 pounds. Now I'm 21 pounds down.
Good.
It's leveling off.
I mean, I might get on the scales and be surprised. I might find out that I've lost a whole bunch more weight because, I can tell on my body that there are certain areas that seem to be a little thinner than what they were before. Yeah. But
why Mitchell's here? Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. It'll level off depending on how much chocolate I have during a couple of, because I've been really hitting the chocolate hard. Now I'll eat the dark chocolate, which has less sugar, but it still has a lot of carbs, but not as much carbs as the milk chocolate. So,
TLF Works is in the house. Good to see you. Welcome.
I don't see them in the chat. Oh, there they are. I get my chats a couple seconds after you see them. Hi.
That's because I'm the boss.
Crazy. Cray.
Well, I don't eat much. I really don't eat very much. I eat like 1 meal a day now. And even then, it's not that big of a meal. But I might mince around a little bit, and I try to eat healthy stuff when I'm mincing around.
Oh yeah, Brenda. Yeah, you are way louder than me.
Well,
I can't make my stuff any louder.
you just need to understand that I've got a big loud mouth, and I always have had one, and it's always going to be that way, and it ain't never going to change till I die.
Can you take your mic and turn it down a notch to be level
No.
with me? I'm pushing. I'm wide open here.
Why would I
How's the
want to
sound
make you
on the
feel
screen?
superior?
Chat room. How am I sound wise with Brenda? Lower or higher or about the same? One meal a day lasts 10 hours, says Jim Dockrell. I don't know what he's getting.
Well, if I was hungry, then I'd say, well, then I need to eat. But having a tree fall in your house takes your appetite away.
Yeah. Jim says I'm lower. Oh, now we get one person saying I'm about the same. I'm going to have to watch the public stream.
You just need to get a megaphone. That's all there is to it. You ain't never going to keep up with me, no matter how hard you try. So...
Check 1, check 2.
I've watched people all my life try to keep up with me, and ain't nobody been able to do it yet. And that's why I'm still single.
All right.
I put up a new video a while ago.
Say again?
I put up a new video a while ago.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
And that's when the fight started.
Oh, another one. Oh, baby. I can't get behind on that series. I like that too much.
Episode 6.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I never run out of them.
Well, people got to stop messing with you.
Well, me or anybody I know, because when the fight starts, I mean, that's, it's fair game then. There's going to be a Heifer Haven go up later tonight where I'll give you some free advice. Because I know you can never get enough of that.
I love myself some free advice. Do you know why? Because I can afford it.
That's right.
Because I'm broke.
That's right. I know the feeling there. Yeah.
Everything hits in December. All my big bills, the insurance, all the stuff comes down. Some apps I pay yearly, big dollar amount apps, all 1, 2, 3 of them, all in December. It's nuts.
Now, I am fortunate in that I have got everything kind of spread out in that area, that some in the spring, summer, fall, and winter and all that. So, but winter, I kind of had to keep winter fairly clear because of the electric. This house is like a barn, and I don't even try to heat the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, I have some fun woodworking news.
Oh, yeah?
I burned out my my shop vac. I have 3 shop vacs.
Yeah.
And the one I use most started having this burny smell with it, like it was burning, like electrical burning.
Uh-huh.
So I turned it off through it and put it on the sidewalk. So I'm just going to use the 2 that I have now, because I don't have like a big fancy dust collector that has the hoses all over, no, I'm ghetto. So I have 2 shop vacs, and every tool I use, I gotta plug it in. So there's a whole rigmarole with it. But I guess you just can't use those motors constantly.
No,
like I do.
Now I've got one shop vac that I've had for, oh my God, 30 years, and every once in a while I'll go buy a new filter for it, and it just keeps plugging along. I don't use it much, but when I want to use it, I want it ready to rock.
I'm so cheap. I take the filter out, and the other shop vac, I suck the dust out of the filter, and I put the filter back in.
Well, I tend to get them so dirty that you can't even do that. They're just gummed up, and
yeah.
So it's, when it's time for it to go, it's time for it to go. I'm not buying them constantly, maybe one a year, maybe. But it's not like I'm using it all the time either.
Okay. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't use it all the time, but I'll turn it on and it'll run for a half hour, and then whenever I'm done, I'll turn it off and glue something up, and then turn it back on again for 2 hours. I guess you just can't do that often and expect it to
They're
stay
not
on.
meant for continual use.
Yeah, yeah. But I definitely got use out of it. I bought it used. I didn't buy it new, but I guess things just don't last,
Well, I bought mine new. It was because the stepson stole my other one that I had. And Lord, I'd had it forever.
Good Jim Dockrell. He says, put a paper towel around the filter and just change that. I'm not that ghetto. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, there really hasn't been much going on around here this week. The people across the street have some of them blow up lawn ornament Christmas things, and they got music that plays with them.
Oh.
Some kind of Christmas music. And so I'll hear that going over there. And thankfully they turn it off at a reasonable hour, sometime between 10 and 11 o'clock at night. And
yeah.
So
that's good.
Heard that a little bit, but not a whole lot going on. I tried to mail the giveaway package last Saturday morning when I was out running errands, and get up there at the post office, and there was a line, which is unusual for my post office, because it's Podunk Town.
'Tis the season, though.
Yeah. So I get up there, and I'm standing in line, and their computers went down.
Oh, no.
So I stood there about another 15 minutes. My legs is killing me, my arthritis. And I finally just gave up. I thought, Lord, they was only going to be open till noon, and it was like 10:30. I'm like, for crying out loud, be a good place to open a post office. So I went ahead and ran my errands, come home. So I had to go back Monday then and mail Jim's package to him. He should have it by now, I would think. I blamed him for the cold air coming down here from up in his neck of the woods. I told him, I said, I'd really appreciate it, really, if you would keep that cold air up there. And he said, well, I was in Cleveland Sunday and Monday, and I have nothing to do with the cold air. And I said, well, whose fault is that? And he says it was his work's fault.
Oh, my.
But yeah, if I ain't got no money, I can't go spend any money. I can't shop online. I've been watching lots of YouTube videos and stuff, and catching up on things and trying to learn some new tricks. And
yep, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. I always watch a lot of YouTube videos. I'll work throughout the day, and I'll scroll through YouTube, and I'll do watch later, watch later, watch later, watch later. And I'll jump on the treadmill and put my watch later playlist on and just jam. Yeah, I got a whole rhythm going with it.
I never have finished them tiles. They're still sitting in there on my table waiting to be finished.
I got to get my nephew's lightsaber holder built in the shop. So that's probably going to do that this weekend. I am going out of town to see a hockey game. But around that, I'll have to make time and get that done.
Is that for Christmas?
Yeah, he asked me to make it for him for Christmas, and I said yes.
Yeah, then you better get a wiggle in it.
I know. How many days till Christmas? I'm afraid to even look.
Well, today's the 9th, and that's the 25th, so about 2 weeks.
Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Well, I have a big wooden dowel that's probably 3 inches. I don't know if you call it a dowel, big cylinder of wood. And I think I'm going to turn it on the lathe to make a little half moon thing for the lightsaber to slide into, and then kind of have like a lower holder rounded thing and then an upper half moon rounded thing, and then it could cradle the lightsaber as you put it in. That's my plan.
Harneal Media is in the room, and so is Midnight Scroller. Good to see both of you.
Hello, both of you. Always good to see all my friends in the chat.
Hope you're having a good season.
I've been live streaming even more lately because I figured out that Ecamm, which is the software I use to stream, it's the streaming software, they're having a Vlogmas thing going on where you can stream into their community the 1st through the 24th.
Yeah.
For Vlogmas. It's just so you can just whatever you want to do live streaming, just do it. You could do it in the group. And the group has 18,500 people in it.
Huh.
So I'm like, I want to put myself in front of 18,500 people. So I've been going live each morning into this Facebook group with that big audience. And
I've never wanted to bore anybody that bad.
Well, you know, if you get in there with your words of wisdom, you could really hook a few people, I think.
You think?
People need that free advice, Brenda.
Well, I've hooked people before, and I've always wanted to throw them back.
Yeah.
You ever had that happen to you?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen pictures or even run into them of people that you went to school with that maybe you had a little bit of crush on back in the day? And then you're thinking when you look at them now, well, I dodged that bullet.
Well, everyone's older, grayer, more wrinkly.
Some of them are a royal mess.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I might be a mess, but good golly, there's some of these that took the trophy.
You know, it's funny some of the paths these people take. It can be sad sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then you see these other complete losers in high school, and you know they're pulling in $200K a year.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you must have really fell into it.
Yeah.
And
then there's some people that just never change.
Yeah.
I went to my 25th high school reunion, many years ago, and the same old clique of gals that thought that they ran everything in high school was there with their noses stuck straight up in the air. And
wow.
Now here's the funny part of this. About 3 months before the high school reunion, they sent out a letter telling everybody there will be a dinner on such and such night, and it will be at such and such hotel banquet room, and it is, I think it was $25 a plate. And they said, we do not, it will be a cash bar, and there will not be a band or a DJ because we simply do not have the money for that.
Yeah.
And I knew a DJ that owed me a favor. And so I contacted him. I asked him, I told him what the date was. I said, are you busy that night? And he said, no. I said, would you mind going and doing the DJ? It would be, classical rock from the 70s. He said, yeah, I could do that. That's not a problem. So I wrote to these gals, just sent them an email, and I said, you said that you don't have the money for a DJ or a band or anything. I happen to know a DJ, and I was just wondering if you would like for him to DJ for you. And I didn't mention any prices, nothing. I thought, let's just see what these gals do. They ignored me.
Big mistake.
So the day comes for the banquet. I get with him. We go over to the hotel, and he goes in. He sets up all his stuff. They still would not speak to me. They would not have thrown a glass of water on me had I been on fire.
So he's still there doing the gig.
Yeah, he's doing it. And, getting all the music set up, getting everything ready to go. And we all have dinner, and then he starts playing the music. And one gal came in and wanted to raise hell with him about his selection of music. And he turned and looked at her and he says, hey, I'm doing this for free. And she turned her butt around and back to her table she went. I thought, yeah, you guys don't have any right to complain anything about this when I bring the DJ and he's doing this for free for you. You can't even say hello to me, go to hell, nothing to me. So, okay, the evening ends. They only had the room till like midnight. And So the evening's ended, and he's packing up all of his stuff, and he's taking it out, putting it back in his trailer in his car. And these stuck-ups come over to me as I'm headed for the door. I thought, oh, this is going to be rich. And they said, well, thank you for bringing the DJ. And I said, oh, I didn't think you even noticed. And they said, well, we didn't write back to you because we didn't have the money for a DJ. I said, did it say anything anywhere in the email that I sent you that I wanted money? Well, no. And I said, but still, y'all thought you was too good to even write back and acknowledge that I had offered.
Yeah, that wasn't right.
I said, so maybe the next time somebody is nice enough to offer to help you with something, instead of you just assuming that you know what everything is all about, perhaps it would be nice if you dropped the attitude and then said something back polite to the person that offered. But that's just a suggestion. And I take a couple more steps toward the door, and I said, well, we hope we see you at the next reunion. I said, honey, you will be lucky to see me at the 50-year reunion.
Oh, my. Oh,
And out of
Copy's
there I
here.
went.
Hello.
Hey, Copy, good to see you.
Yeah, I went. We had a reunion scheduled recently, and it didn't happen. Something fell through, and they're like, okay, well, look, we're just going to go to this restaurant. It's just a restaurant. It's not anything official. If anyone wants to come, you come. So I go there, and it's a good time or whatever, but they start, talking about what you do, and they're like, oh, and they realize I'm good at event planning, and they're like, okay, you're on the committee. I'm like, what? So here I come to find out nobody wants to pay more than $40 for an event. And I'm like, in this day and age, this was even pre 2020, I'm like, no, like, come on, people, you can't be that broke. And $40 in 2019 money is next to nothing compared to 1988 money, when we graduated. So I'm just like, they just have no clue. They have no clue. Oh, you want a full meal, and you want a DJ and a venue and free parking for $40 a head.
Yeah.
I'm like, please. BITCH, please.
Yeah. Now I've got, let's see, another 2.5 years before they have another reunion. And I want to go. There's several of the girls that wants me to go. They're rooting me on. I think they want to see me whip somebody is what it's really all about. But, I told them, no, I really don't have any desire to go. I mean, it's the very first one, the 5-year reunion that they had, they actually sent out a letter. These, girls with a nose in the air, they sent out a letter that said, come to the 5-year class reunion because we want to see who has gotten fat and who has gotten wrinkles and who...
For 5 years, nothing changes in 5 years.
And who's getting gray hair and who's gone bald. They, honest to God, said that in the very first letter that they sent out about the high school reunion.
First of all, that's ridiculous. Second of all, it doesn't even apply for 5 years. Nothing changes in 5 years.
Well, we did have one guy that had gone bald. And I think, several of them probably put on a few pounds, but I mean, nothing outrageous. But, I'm like, why would you do that? What business would it be yours? Because you're not walking in their shoes. You don't know what kind of hurdles that they've had to try to overcome in the last 5 years. Who are you to think you're so much better than them?
And plus, Facebook is a thing now. Like you can.
Well, I mean, this has been 40 years ago, but still, it's the attitude. I'm like, here we are all these years later, and you still got the same stinking attitude that you had clear back in high school. When are you going to grow up?
I got a fun story. Maybe I shouldn't say.
We love fun stories.
Because I'm friends with two of the girls I graduated with, and the one was the summa cum laude, and the one was the salutatorian, like the second runner up.
Yeah.
And I hear, secondhand, I was talking to the girl that was the top of the class, and she said that she was out somewhere, and the girl that was the second was with her daughter. She goes, "Oh, I'll just make up a name. There's Jane. She had the highest grade point average in high school, and I had the second highest." Like, she actually said that to her young, must have been 5-year-old daughter, like 30 years later. It's like, why is that like I'm introducing you to someone. Why is that a topic that you would mix in with an introduction, especially to a young kid? Who cares? Like, she was bent. She's been bent about that grade for 30 years. This was 30 years. I mean, this is 30 years after we graduated. It's been a little bit more longer than that.
Well, I'll give you one better than that. And I don't even really understand the entire story because I went off to vocational school my senior year. So I wasn't there to see what all transpired. But the gal that should have been the top of the class to give the valedictorian speech was demoted to second place. She's still PO'd about the whole deal.
Because someone got a higher grade, or?
No, just because one of the teachers liked the other girl better and gave her the spot. And I know when I went to graduation, they had this other girl come up to read the valedictorian speech. I'm like, well, why isn't Debbie giving the valedictorian speech? What's Dorothy doing up there? But we're in the middle of the whole graduation deal, so you can't ask nobody nothing.
Popularity contest. You have to have the grades. Did someone incorrectly assign higher grades that they shouldn't have?
I don't know if the grades had anything to do with it. The way I'm understanding it is the teacher just liked Dorothy better than she liked Debbie, and she gave it to Dorothy. And Debbie is still, to this day, hot under the collar about the whole shooting match.
Yeah, there's more to life than that, people. Come on.
Yeah, I'm thinking, okay, there comes a time when you just have to let it go, because that was way back then. There's nothing you can do to change it, and it is what it is, and you've gone on with your life. She's gone on with her life, and,
Jim says his son's graduating tomorrow. Awesome, Jim. Congrats to the boy.
Congrats. It's always good to have somebody graduate.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky to get out of school. I'll tell you what. Because I was not a good student. I did not go to school to study. I went there for the social contact. That was the only reason I went.
Well, I did okay in school, but I understood something that many failing kids didn't understand. And that is, if you turn in garbage work, you'll get a 50% grade. But if you don't turn it in, you'll get a 0. And 0 is substantially lower than 50%. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just like I get it. You want to be a loser. You don't know the material. Just guess anything and turn it in. That you could bring it up. Like, it would be possible to take a D or an F grade and kind of pull it up to just barely get by. It's impossible to raise a 0. I was just like, boy, you're so stupid. Like, why don't you just? I don't know.
Junior year of high school. I already knew I was going to have enough plus more credits than I needed to graduate. I knew I was going to vocational school my senior year, and that brought in so many credits.
Dragon's eye. He's saying daughter loved it.
Good. I'm glad she liked it.
All right, you're saying you're graduating, or
so junior year.
Junior year.
I knew that I was going to have plenty of credits to graduate when it came time. And so I wasn't too worried about it. I had not taken algebra, but I had taken advanced math and pulled straight A's. So I felt like I didn't need algebra. I could go right on to geometry. So junior year, I took the geometry class. And first day of class, the teacher asked us how many of you took algebra, and everybody raised their hands but me. And he looked at me and he says, well, you need to go take algebra before you take this class. And I told him, well, I pulled straight A's in advanced math. I think I can probably do this. And he says, well, I don't think you can. He says, but if you bent that you want to stay, then stay. And so I stayed, and I didn't understand a word that came out of his mouth the entire class. And I go home that night and I told my mom about it. And mom says, well, you need to pull out of that class. And I said, I don't want to pull out of that class. That's like giving up. I said, look at it this way. Even if I get straight F's in that class all year, I'm still going to have more than enough credits to graduate when it comes time to graduate. Yeah. Maybe sitting in that class, I'll accidentally pick something up. I said, and it sure beats sitting in study hall being bored out of your mind. This was the first class of the day. So your homework's already done. You're sitting there first class of the day, bored, wanting to sleep. Yeah. Aggravating the other kids around you and everything else. And I thought, I need to be in this class. So I took the class. And about the third day of class, the teacher sits me right in front of his desk because he figures, ain't nobody this dumb. She's got to be goofing off. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on her. So he sits me right in front of his desk where he could see everything I'm doing. And every day, he would ask me a question. Every day, I'd get it wrong. Every test he gave, I missed every question.
Damn.
I even had other kids in the class that knew what they was doing try to tutor me with this stuff. Nobody could get anything through my thick head that had anything to do with geometry whatsoever. And I pulled straight F's in the class all year long. But I completed the class.
Good on you.
My mother was beside herself.
Wow.
She wanted to tear me limb from limb over that. But hey, I had tenacity, I stuck with it no matter what.
I have a tenacity school story that I think you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So freshman year, high school, we find out that the earth science teacher is teaching freshmen, and he used to teach seniors, and he doesn't like freshmen. They're too immature. It was beneath him to teach freshmen. So he had a thing with freshmen. He would make the whole class grunt like Neanderthals because he thought we were so stupid. He would give a prompt. He said, okay, everyone grunt, and everyone would have to grunt like a Neanderthal. He just hated it. And he was so arrogant. He says, I have a question that's so hard to answer. If anyone answers this question, I'll give you a silver dollar coin, a dollar coin, the silver kind. And he asked the question. My hand goes up. I got the question right. He was so mad. He was so mad. And then he was just beside himself. He's like, I'm not going to honor the bet. I'm going to give the class a second question that's even harder. And if you can answer it, then I'll give you a silver dollar. And I answered the second question. He was furious. And a couple days later, he did it again. He reneged on it. And he says, I'm going to ask a question again. And no one's going to get this one. And I didn't know the second one. So I didn't know the third one. So I didn't raise my hand. And he did eventually give me a dollar coin. It wasn't a silver dollar coin. It was a bicentennial. It wasn't silver. And he did give me that coin begrudgingly. He was a grade A-hole. And when I got that question right, he was furious. Actually, the answer was radioactivity, and he was looking for radioactive decay. Same flipping thing. So he eventually said, yeah, you're right. It was something like, what can cause heat under the surface of the earth? And he says, I'll give you 2 of the correct answers. You got to give me the third. And one was friction, and one was the heat that was always there. And what's the third thing that can make something hot under the ground? He was Earth science teacher. I was like, well, radioactivity's hot. And I know the glowing stuff is glowing because it's radioactive. So I said radioactivity. And then he, him and hauled for 5 minutes about it needs to be radioactive decay, like eventually saying it. But yeah. And I do not remember what the second question was that I got right. And I don't remember what the third question was that I didn't respond to because I didn't know the answer. But yeah, and I still have that coin. I have it in an envelope in my safe. It says the silver dollar question. I said, F Mr. and then his last name. I have it. I have that coin.
Yep. Maple Tree Studios is in the house. We'll say hey to them. And Marilyn W. came in. Good to see you, Marilyn.
Hey, Marilyn.
Welcome.
She follows all the streamers around. She's a great part of the community. Everyone in the audience is a great part of the community. I love you all. But she always has the purple hearts. That's how you know she's there.
Well, you reckon we ought to try to give something away?
We can if you'd like. Are you in the giving mood this holiday?
I think we could try to give away a giveaway tonight.
All right. Good deal. I'll give the spiel.
All right.
I think a lot of you people know how it works. Brenda wrote down a number on a piece of paper. If you guess that number exactly right, you will win. Only guess when she says go. Only guess one time when she says go. Put your answer in the chat. Now, here's the thing. If you live in the lower 48 states, she will mail you this gift. It's a physical gift. She'll show you the prizes after someone wins, and you get to pick one of the 4 prizes she'll show you. But she'll mail it with the post office anywhere in the lower 48 states for free. If you live outside the lower 48 states, you can opt to pay the shipping because that's expensive. Brenda's on a fixed income. Super chats help this effort. Anything that channel receives monetarily helps with this. And or if you don't want to pay the shipping and still play along, you can re-gift it. So everyone gets to play. Everyone gets to play the game. Now there's a bonus. When she writes down the number, she writes it as a word. She doesn't write it as digits, and she over-capitalizes it because she knows it drives me crazy. If you guess the number of capital letters she wrote down in the word, you will win a bonus prize. So the format will be guess your number, / and then the bonus number, which would be the number of capital letters. That's the nomenclature. Brenda, what is the number range people can pick from? And don't, if you're behind time, fast forward this stream if you're watching live because we all got to do it at the same time. Okay,
the number range tonight is between 40 and 49.
Okay, when you're ready.
Go.
All right, pick a number between 40 or 49. It could be 40, it could be 49, or it could be any number in between. And if you're exactly right, you win. Remember to put your bonus guess in there. Guess one time, and we'll see who the winner is. Life Unit 42, Maple Tree Studios. That's a 42 answer, Brenda.
We got a winner.
Got a winner already. Let's see. We have 47. First person with 47 appears to be... I don't see a 47, Brenda.
Well, where did it go?
Oh, there it is. TFL works. Okay. And he said 5 capital letters. I'm sorry. TFL works. 6 is the number of capital letters. You missed the bonus, but congratulations on winning the prize. Brenda's going to show you 4 prizes. You can pick one of those 4 and she'll mail it to you. Brenda, what are the prizes?
Okay. The prizes tonight, we have a carabiner. Says right there on it. It's a carabiner.
Well, if it says on the screen.
And we have an a-hole.
A on the shelf.
and now this is plush. There's no wires in it. He's not posable, any of that, you know. So
is he wearing pants or a skirt?
Well, he's got a long shirt on.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we got an a-hole, and
right.
we got 12 candy canes.
Yeah, baby.
On the 12th day of Christmas, and Are you ready for this?
Bring it.
We got a sack of ducks. There's 3 rubber ducks in there, 3 different sizes of rubber duckies.
3 sizes.
Yeah.
Big, medium, small.
Yeah. There's
Wow.
3 sizes of little ducks. And these do not squeak. So, if your dog got a hold of one, it ain't going to get hurt on the squeaker or nothing. But
how did you get a hold of 3 rubber duckies? How does that come to you?
I travel in strange circles.
Apparently so.
So it's a sack of ducks.
Ay. Wow.
I could make a whole poem to go with that, but I couldn't do it on YouTube.
Nope. So what do we got? Sack of ducks, the candy canes, the carabiner, and the elf. All right, TFL works. Which will it be? Candy canes, please. You got it.
Candy canes, all right. And get me your address, your mailing address, and send that. I don't think we're on Facebook together, so send that to me by email. Matt, can you put my email?
Put Brenda's email in the chat there for you.
Yeah.
brenda.gibson @gmail.com.
Yeah. And I will send that out to you. I'm planning to send it out tomorrow, but if their computers are down,
well, yeah,
it will come as soon as I can get it out. So there you go.
Everybody drop like on the stream, please. That helps the channel. And if
tell your friends about this. We have some fun over here. We tell stories and all kinds of things.
Yeah, we do. You
never know what's liable to happen here next. Now, next week will be the 16th. Fa la 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 la. It's the week before Christmas.
Oh, baby.
Now, they're saying at the post office that in order to guarantee that you get your packages in time for Christmas, you need to get them to the post office by the 15th. So if there's anybody wanting anything from the Etsy store, now's the time to be thinking about between now and next Wednesday. Get your orders in here so that I can get them to the post office in time, get them out. And you still got you're not shipping them though, but
I'm not shipping them. I sold 2. For those that don't know, I built wooden candy cane lawn ornaments about 22 inches high. And I sold 2 bundles of 6 for $90 each. So I'm 180 to the good. But that's only like $40 profit. So, I worked 2 whole weeks and got about 50 cents an hour. I should plug my Festivus show. Can I do that?
Yes, you can.
So in the chat is a link to a Google form. You give me your name and your email address, and I will put you on my All Things YouTube show Thursday, December 23rd. That's Festivus. And the whole point of the show is you can air your tech grievances and you can complain about anything tech related, including YouTube, and we'll rotate guests in one at a time. We start at 5 p.m. Eastern, and we'll go until we're out of content.
Why does it have to be tech related?
Because it's all things YouTube. It could be social media. It could be tech. It could be something that all things YouTube would talk about as a topic.
What if I want to complain about the tree that hit my house?
Is there a tech angle that you're complaining about?
It technically should not have hit my house.
That's technically, but is there a tech angle? Could you not get a hold of anyone at the township and the technology phone failed you?
No, but I got told off by them.
Yeah.
I got told that they didn't like my attitude because I should be happy that a tree hit my house.
If it's a grievance and it's tech related, it's a welcome subject on the show.
So you're not opening up to enough categories.
You got a lot of tech problems. You could certainly find.
I don't know anything about tech. I mean that's the only complaint that I have is that everything's too technical and that I don't understand none of it.
That
But
qualifies.
but you know, I got plenty of complaints about everything else that goes on around me. Traffic, flat tires,
Yeah.
junk in the mailbox, telemarketers.
Yeah, there's a lot to do that. But
The
anyway,
the contractors.
It's a super fun show. Definitely watch. If you can join the fun, join. You don't want to miss out. I do it one time a year because if you miss this opportunity, there'll be 365 days till you get to do it again. Because I don't let people on my channel except for that one day, Festivus, December 23rd.
But you're not opening it up for enough categories. That's my complaint.
Okay.
Because it's pretty much like everybody else can call in because I know y'all have problems with tech except for Brenda because she don't know nothing about it. So she'll have to sit down and shut up.
Well, your complaint could be you don't know how to turn the volume down on your microphone because you're drowning me out.
I didn't say I didn't know how. I said I wouldn't do it.
Come on now.
There's a difference.
Come on now.
If I didn't leave it up like this, it wouldn't be me. Because I am me.
Ain't that the truth?
And I really don't care what you think.
Well, that's never been in dispute. See how she treats me, everybody?
I just love when people come up to me and they start giving me, you know, their opinion on something that I'm doing. And then I just let them go, you know, let them do it. I say, well, isn't it just wonderful that I don't give a damn what you think?
That's right. I like, so there's a funny way to say that, but it's very hard to pull off. It's that one meme with the old-timey sepia tone print, and it's a guy going like this, and there's a huge landscape, but there's nothing growing on the landscape. He says, "This is my field of F's." He says, "Cast your eyes upon ye, and thou shalt see that it is barren." In other words, he has no F's to give.
That's right. Exactly.
That's a hard thing to pull off in casual conversation. You got to really build the colorful world, you know, the storytelling. But I love that meme. It's one of my favorite.
Yeah, but just telling them, you know, isn't it wonderful that I don't give a damn what you think? That, you know, that kind of takes them down a peg.
Yeah. There's a new subreddit called Nobody Asked. You know, when people are like talking about something on the internet back and forth, and then someone drops a comment that has nothing to do with anything. And it's just like, nobody asked you, dude. It's like, well, what are you talking about there? That's a funny one.
Oh, my goodness.
So I noticed there was about half a strand of lights went out on my outside Christmas display. I got my posts wrapped.
It's right on time. That's what they do.
Yeah.
You know, they get you about halfway to Christmas and then they start going out. And by the time you get to Christmas, you only have maybe 3 or 4 bulbs blinking.
Oh, I did watch a video where someone had one of those those sticks that detect electricity. You don't have to touch any open wires. You just put it close to an electrical source. And he says, if you take the Christmas light, like pretend this is Christmas lights, it's not, but you go like this with your hand and you put the whole mess, your hand will shield electrically the rest of it. And you can take this little stick and you can touch each bulb. And then you can tell which bulb is the actual burned out one. Because sometimes you can't tell that they're burned out, especially the ones that are LEDs. There's no black mist on the inside of the little glass bulb.
Right.
I'm like, I got to get myself one of those little sticks because, you know, you put it up to an outlet, it goes beep, 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 beep. Or, you know, it's just, but you don't have to touch the exposed wire. You just put it close and it senses it. I'm like, I got to get one of those little magical little, I bet they're only like $10.
But you'll get it and then you won't know what it's for.
Well, I should try it. Someone in the chat room, tell me what that device is called. And there's little meters. It looks like a magic marker, and you touch the tip to something electrical, and it'll do a little alarm sound that it is hot.
Bulb tester, electric tester.
Yeah, electric tester, something like that. But
Uncle Fester tester.
Uncle Fester. Addams Family. I love the Addams Family.
Well, he could put that light bulb in his mouth and make it come on.
It's true.
So
that's true. I want the pinball. I didn't realize this. Someone said, if you could have any pinball machine, which one would you want? I said, the Addams Family. Says, figures that is the most expensive and the most sought after pinball game of all pinball games of all time. That's the one people like the most. I remember playing it. There's some pizza place. I used to jam on Addams Family pinball, and then like you get so many things racked up, and it starts playing the Addams Family song, and
Jim says it's Jim said voltage tester.
Oh, TEST. I guess your W's are swapping out the E on your keyboard there.
And non-contact AC voltage tester.
Ah, gotcha. Look at this. I love the internet, Brenda. The internet is wonderful. Let me go to Amazon right now.
That's great, all except they're making it up as they go along.
There it is. $11.99. $12.99. $10.49. Free Prime shipping.
I love these places that say the more you buy, the cheaper it gets.
Oh, there's one for $9.88.
I write to them and I say, okay, the more I buy, the cheaper it gets. How many do I have to get before they're free?
See, that's... I thought you said you took advanced math.
That is advanced math.
My one friend was not too bright. And he was arguing, and he had one of those stupid fake commercials. It was a fake commercial. It was a pun commercial. And it says, we buy low, sell lower. And he says, oh, that's a good business model. I'm like, how is that? How would you make profit? He goes, volume. I'm like, hold up. If you lose 5 cents on the dollar, how would doing that in mass equal a profit? Oh, no, just well. I was like, Jim, you are dumber than a box of rocks. That ain't nice to say, man. I'm like, seriously, you really are stupid. Anyway.
There used to be a story about that where the fellers had watermelons and they was selling them for $1 a piece. And somebody came along and said, well, I'll tell you what, if I take them in mass, would you sell them for 50 cents a piece? And they said, well, yeah, we could do that. And so they were selling them for 50 cents a piece. And he says, well, what if I took a whole truckload of them? Would you come down to a quarter a piece? And one boy looks at the other boy and said, hey, we got to buy a bigger truck. Because they make more money, see, if they sell more melons at a quarter a piece.
Well, I know. I mean, it's like there was a jewelry company that was like, oh, this jeweled wristband, men or men or women. He says, you buy it, and it's instantly worth more money after you buy it. Like, who actually believes that?
There's a sucker born every minute.
Come on.
I used to prove it every time I go to that great big swap meet down Southern Ohio.
Oh, your swap meet stories are funny.
I used to prove it every time I go down there because there was always one.
Arrives before Christmas.
Rockstar 897 Abel is in the house.
Hello, Rockstar.
Good to see you. We're getting ready to get out of here for the night, but we're here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We give stuff away. We tell stories. We have a good time. We rag on each other.
Well, that we do. Here, check this out. How I look.
Well, you look festive.
Yes, I do. Ho, ho, ho. Santa Haas.
Yeah, I don't do the Santa hat thing. I slick my hair down so it ain't standing on end like Einstein and go on.
Oh, I got another announcement before we
Yeah.
head out. On the 18th, I'm doing a public meetup with me and other members of the streaming community in a suburb of Philadelphia called King of Prussia at the Brazilian Steakhouse Fogo at 5:15 p.m. December 18th, Saturday, December 18th. If anyone wants to eat dinner with me, dinner's on your own. I can't buy you dinner. Let me know, and I'll point you to the private Facebook event that has the details, and you can RSVP there. So we're just going to have an in-person meetup and eat steak on Saturday the 18th at 5:15 p.m.
Well, take Evan, and then dinner's on him.
He's a broke college kid.
Everybody just gets up and leaves, and he's the last one there.
He's doing finals. He's got one more day of finals, and yeah.
Well, for anybody who can't make it over there to have dinner with Matt that night, that's the night of Simply Wooden Creations Christmas party at 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on YouTube. So you might mark that down on your calendar and come join us for the Christmas party on the 18th. And I don't know what he's got planned for this Saturday night, if he's even going to have a show. I haven't heard anything one way or the other. But Jim, if you know anything, you might put it out there. But I don't know of anything going on this week. But I know that on the 18th, he'd planned for the Christmas party and then no Christmas show. And I don't know about New Year's night if he's going to do anything then.
Okay. I put a link to my Awesome Fun Things channel. I stream Monday through Friday in the morning on Awesome Fun Things. Just talk about whatever's happening that day or whatever happened the day before. So it's very popular. I've done 72 of those morning streams so far on Awesome Fun Things.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
All tech related?
No, it's life related. It's sometimes often I talk about tech, but it's just whatever doesn't fit on any of my other channels, or I talk about what's going on my channels.
Well, you need to let me come on there so that I can complain about my house and my tree.
Well, then I would have to break my rule of only having people on my YouTube channels once a year. I'd have to make an exception.
Rules are made to be broken.
Well, maybe if you can turn your volume down, I can do this for you. Meet me halfway.
Listen to him trying to bargain. I'm trying to bargain with the devil.
Oh, I had a fun zinger because for Halloween, my one friend had a devil costume on. I was like, it was so perfect. I said, that costume really ain't that tough because you lost a fiddle to some hillbilly down in Georgia. Everyone started laughing. Oh, Halloween humor. I know.
I've said things similar to people like that, like, when they're acting up and, being devilish and carrying on, I'll just sit there real quiet and just let them go on and on and on. And then sooner or later, they'll turn and look at me and say, well, what do you think? I said, well, I think at least I didn't lose a fiddle to somebody down in Georgia, but hey. And they kind of have to think about that for a minute, and then it dawns onto them. By the time they figured it out, I'm far from arm's reach.
You should have a delayed one of these.
What's she talking about? A fiddle in Georgia?
Oh, fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Well, I think we'll shut her down here for tonight. And here in a few minutes, the Heifer Haven will go up. Hope everybody takes a look at that and listens to the other one that I put up earlier today about that's when the fight started. And
good deal.
Leaves me some comments on there, and share. And with all that being said, I've already got next week's show scheduled. So go over to my page and click on that for your reminder so that you can get in here with us, and probably have another giveaway next week. And TFL, if you be so kind as to email me your address so that I can get this wrapped up, I'll take it to the post office in the morning, and you'll have it sometime next week. So with all that being said, we'll say good night to everybody.
Good night, everyone.